And as we mentioned earlier, if you were with us, there will be a third female for that. Let's get more. Vince?
Thank you very much, Marty. Standing by with Milka Duno of Venezuela, who has been racing in various series in Europe, the Rolex series and so forth. A big announcement here this weekend at Homestead, along with Citgo as a sponsor. We'll join the Indy Racing League IndyCar Series beginning at Kansas, and we'll do 10 events. How excited are you to have this program come together for you and join the IndyCar Series?
Very, very exciting. I have many emotions together in myself. I am a little nervous, tension, anxiety, everything together. Finally, it's a dream that come true now. I'm so happy because for many years I was wanting to have an opportunity like this. I am part of this event now. I will start in Kansas, and we are doing 10 races. We have a lot of work. It's very tough work, but we are ready to start to work.
Are you intimidated by the challenge that awaits you?
No, I know that it's very tough challenge. There are very good drivers. It's very difficult championship, but I like the difficult challenge. No, I have the determination that this is that I want to do. I start to work in a few days with my team.
Milka Duno from Venezuela will begin her IndyCar Series career at Kansas and be the third woman in this series.
And it will be great to see how she performs when we get to Kansas. There's Sarah. She is still waiting. In fact, find out in just a matter of a couple of hours. We're just moments away from the command to start engines. And there's the number 23 car for Milka Duno, the 35-year-old rookie from Caracas, Venezuela. There she is. But this is a debut that almost did not happen. How about it, Brianne Pedigo?
That's right, Marty. It's been a roller coaster week for Milka Duno. It all started Monday. She was supposed to be testing in Kentucky. Well, that got rained out. Then Tuesday was supposed to be her rookie test here in Kansas, but her flight from Miami got grounded because of bad weather in Louisiana. So it was Wednesday before she even made it to Kansas, and more rain kept her from the racetrack. So by Thursday, guys, it looked like time was running out for Milka. Venezuelan Milka Duno has proven she can win on the sports car circuit, and she had to draw from some of that past experience Thursday, which was her last possible chance to get in her rookie test before this weekend's race in Kansas. She finally took to the track just before noon with IndyCar technical director Kevin Blanche watching.
It's not about speed anymore. It's about her going out there and running the same line.
Right. No, I understand that.
I was hanging the line because I was looking well, the way it was quicker.
That makes sense to me then. Okay. That's what I wanted to hear you say, is you were trying it on your own.
For more than 5 hours, Milka took part in a 4-phase test where both her speed and her line were closely monitored. Finally, around 5 o'clock, Milka was given the good news. Her IndyCar career will start this weekend in Kansas.
You did a really good job. See you Saturday morning.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Good job, too.
Milka, tell me a little bit about how stressful your trip to Kansas has been.
It was very stressful. Many things happened. It was the weather, the airplane, everything. But finally, I did the test. It was a very good test, and now this is my first race.
Now, we know you've accomplished already one of your goals simply by qualifying for today's race. What are your expectations here?
I try to do the best. It's my first race. Still, I'm learning so much about the other driver, driving traffic, about the series. Everything is new for me. Just I try to do the best, keep the car, avoid every problem around.
Good luck today. Vince?
Situation that if the league looks at this, the president Brian Barnhart says he's 10 miles an hour off the pace. As we see Milka Duno right now just completed her first pit stop. She's in the right hand part of your screen, and she's now leaving onto the front of the pit lane here and off to the racetrack. But anytime you're more than 10 miles an hour off the pace, the IRL generally wants you to come in, make a change to the car, and then possibly, well, Milka, hang on.
Reset the fuel, Milka, reset the fuel.
How neat is this? Poncho Carter, years of experience, worked with Sam Hornish Jr., and now he is passing along his information to Milka Duno to help her get up to speed after the pit stop, Marty.
Let's get more on Milka. Vince?
Well, Scott, you hit it. Pancho Carter, who has worked with Sam Hornish and Dan Weldon, and he is literally coaching Milka Duno around the track almost every single lap. He's being very positive with her, telling her she's doing a good job, but he has reminded her on multiple occasions that she does need to stay within 10 mile an hour of the leaders. So if there's been one prompt that Pancho Carter has given her more than any other, it's been flat out, Milka, flat out. He's been reminding her over and over she's got to keep the fuel on the floor. Guys?
All right, so here comes Elio Castroneves, I'm sorry, as it's the number 3, not the number 6. Castroneves pits out of 8th position, putting a period on Milka as she goes another lap down to our race leader. Of course, history-making day here. If you stay with us on ESPN2, coming up next, it'll be NHRA drag racing and a history-making event there. It'll be Father John Forrest, and I'm not talking about him being a priest. He's the dad of Ashley Forrest, his 24-year-old daughter. They're going to go head-to-head in first-round action. Another history-making day. Let's get more. What about the other 2 women in our field? Well, Danica, as we mentioned, she is running in 7th. Sarah Fisher is in 13th place right now, as she is 4 laps down. And Milka Duno is in 14th, 6 laps down.
But I think she's actually fulfilling her goal today of actually getting out there and completing the race, running as many laps as possible, getting the experience of actually going through pit stops in open wheel type race cars, getting back out and running on the high banking here. Yes, she's run at Daytona in a 24-hour car, but in a sports car. But this is at sustained speed. This is all at 205, 210 miles an hour all the time.
You saw Sarah there in the blue and white Amco transmissions machine. There she is, as she is running in 13th. And of course, Sarah, last year, her best finish here was 2003, where she was 11th, so she's not probably going to do much better than that, because as we said, she's several laps down. And finished 7th, and there she is with Jackaroo.
Well, and you know, Marty, it's almost as good as a victory. When I talked to Milka yesterday after qualifying for her first IndyCar Series event, you told me all you wanted to do was finish. Well, congratulations, you did that. I noticed you're a little dizzy after going around the corners. Tell me a little bit about it.
Just adjusting to everything, just by steering like this. But I am very happy with the results, because in the first round, I was crazy on the street. It was impossible to drive in traffic. It's when I lost the most time. But after, when I made to pick stop, my engineer made fantastic job, adjust the car, and after I start to recover and keep the speed all the time. It was the moment that I recovered, because the car was very good outside, inside, behind the car. It's experience now. I learned from today. It was a good experience, tough experience.
Well, if you had to explain to some friends what it was like out there that have never driven an IndyCar, what would you say?
How is to drive it? Oh, he's very tough, guys. Really tough. At the end, you finish like you are in the roller coaster. Wow!
Milka, Indianapolis is up next. You're going to try and become another woman, another female to crack the Indy 500 field in its 91-year history. What do you think, and what does Indianapolis and the 500 mean to you?
It's going to be a great event, because it is the famous Indianapolis. It's a race that I wanted to be there for a long time ago, and now I am part of the event. No, I passed my test. I did my first race. Now I go to Indianapolis.
Things are pretty good.
Yeah.
Guys, you can see the smile on her face. She's a happy camper. She's run her first Indy race and is on her way to the 500.
Yeah, I sort of like, she said it was like a roller coaster. It's definitely an e-ticket ride out there. And I want to clarify, I know what I meant to say. I think it came out wrong. She started 21st, climbed 7 positions to 14th. I think I accidentally put her in 7th place, and that would be where Danica Patrick finished today, 1 lap down. All right, let's go back to 12 noon and take a look at Milka Duno's run. She has gotten the instructions from Brian Barnhart, and as she was ready to pull out, you got to imagine. Do you remember your rookie run? I mean, how hard was your heart pumping?
Like it was yesterday. You can qualify anywhere in the world, even Le Mans for the 24-hour race over there. This is someplace special, Marty.
You get 2 warm-up laps, then it's 4 timed laps, and it's the average of those 4 laps that determine your starting position. Nowhere else in the world is it done like it is here at Indianapolis. You know, we mentioned the fact that Milka had a crash a week ago. Let's take you back to that moment. Everybody's been wondering, how will she react?
Well, the key thing is to get back in the car and get yourself going again. Now, she was out for a couple of days while they repaired this car. As you can see, just a little high going through turn 1. The back end comes around. That's when we call the car is loose, and it hits that safer barrier on the outside of the wall. She got out of the car, was cleared to drive just within about an hour, but had to wait for the car to be repaired.
Now, she's still on her warm-up laps here, and you were impressed with she knew what went wrong with that crash.
I was impressed even at Kansas and speaking to her. When they made a change to the car, she could come in and tell them what the change had done to the car, the way that it was feeling for her. That means that she's really in tune with things, and that means, Marty, that the world is going slow for you when you're in the race car. They call about being in the zone, and really that's what you have to be. Impressive for her with her sports car background that she was able to sort of catch on to that, not only there, but here at Indianapolis also, where speeds are quite higher.
Well, one of her degrees is in nautical engineering, so I mean, she is a very intelligent young lady, and the question would be, would she be able to forget about the crash and put 4 good, consistent laps together? And she was first out, and you think that was a good strategy? Don't wait, don't let it hang on?
Well, you know, you want to get in the car and get that green flag as quickly as possible. And here she goes. She takes the green flag to start her very first lap. And you asked if this qualifying here at Indianapolis is difficult. At most places you go to, you qualify for 1 or 2 laps. And, Marty, they take the best lap out of those 2 to put your selection where you will be actually on the grid. Here at Indianapolis, as you mentioned a moment ago, it's a total of those 4 laps. So you cannot make a mistake in any one of those 4 laps if you want to get a great, consistent time. That's what puts the pressure on a driver here in Indianapolis, is perfection for 4 laps, and that's difficult. Even Rick Mears says that's a hard thing to do.
One of the things, you know, drivers talk about turn-in points and exit points. What do you look for when everything is painted white around this track?
And that's difficult here. See, you're going down this 5/8 of a mile straightaway right now. She'll be entering in there, as you see, 222, 223 miles an hour. Your goal is not to take your foot off the throttle, drive into the turn, get down to the apex by the white line, let the car drift out to the wall so you're not scrubbing off too much speed, and you have to do that 4 times a lap, obviously, and that's sometimes a very difficult thing to do. Easier said than done.
And her first lap, as you see there, 219.5 miles an hour. Not a super fast run, but a good, consistent start.
And that's the thing, as we mentioned a moment ago, consistency says that she's in control of the car, and the more consistent the run is, and that makes the engineers happy and the team owner happy, because they say they have somebody that really understands what they're doing inside the cockpit. Here again, down over the yard of bricks, into turn 1, you let the car flare up to the wall, come down to the white line, we call that the apex, and flare out to the wall. Now, that's something she wasn't doing when she came here last week. She wasn't comfortable with the car. She wasn't letting the car come out to the wall. Difficult to do at 215 miles an hour. But she has Pancho Carter, who's run here many years, a great champion. He's the driver coach for Milka, and also the spotter. He's really been helping her understand what she needs to do on this racetrack.
You noticed again, 219 miles an hour, and that's what she was practicing at this morning. That's what we were talking about as far as consistency. She's not stepping over that line, and she's being very consistent here in the qualifying run.
I think they're smart. I think they know the time segment they need to be able to get into this field. And you know something, if you went a half a mile an hour quicker or a mile an hour quicker, you might be up 1 row. But when you're qualifying on day 3, that extra row is not going to do a whole lot for you. The goal, the big goal for them right now, is to get her in the race, which we believe that they may have done, and then to get her experience running the Indianapolis 500.
Her third lap, a little bit slower, 219 though, still in that same range as she was into her 4th lap. Heading for turn number 4. And again, good consistent line, as here she was. She could breathe again at this point as she takes the checkered flag and completes her first ever qualifying attempt here at Indianapolis. And again, the 4th lap would be in the 219 range, which would give her a 219 average for the 4-lap run. So Milka Duno does herself and her Citgo team proud, as she is, at least for the moment, in the Indianapolis 500. And she did the cool-down lap, and after she got out of the car, Vince Welch caught up with her in the pit lane. Vince?
Well, Milka, how did you feel during that 4-lap qualifying run?
I I was feeling very good. We have a very good car. The team worked for have a good car for qualifying. Still, we can go fast, but we didn't need for this qualifying. We were wanted to be to have a safety car for qualifying and for the race. I think we are going to have a very good car for race.
How about you? How did you feel during that 4-lap run?
It was very, yes, with a lot of tension, with a lot of pressure, because it's just Indy. I was trying to do the best to control all the pressure, all the scene, because everybody was looking what I was doing. But we have a good run.
How relieved are you that it's over, at least for now, the first qualifying run? How relieved are you that it's over?
I think we were a little bit, but I don't know. We're still working. We think about what the others are doing, but we see, no. The conditions change all the time. If we have to go again, we go again. But
how comfortable are you in the car at this point?
it was good. It was good. Yes, it was very good. We have a good car.
How about you, from a driver's perspective? How comfortable are you in this different type of car? Even though you ran at Kansas City, this is a different place.
It's something that I adjusting every time. No, it's just a process. I learn fast, but it's just something that you just need to adjust. This track is really difficult. It's really fast. Change all the time, and you are crazy because you have a car for the morning, but later maybe it's different situation. But each time I feel much better. No, each time I feel more confident, learn more about the other drivers, everything here. I think with more time, I will be completely okay.
Thank you, Milka.
Thank you.
And I think you'll have a hard time wiping that smile off her face. You notice all the...
Ladies and gentlemen, when was the last time you saw a driver's resume like that of Milka Duno from Venezuela? The 35-year-old has 4 master's degrees, but she's inexperienced at handling traffic at 200-plus miles an hour. That could be a huge issue here today. Let's go to Jackaroo.
Yeah, Brent, when you look at practical experience, Milka Duno's road to Indy has been a very short one. Milka, you're only going to make your second start in the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indy 500. How scared are you?
Yes, I have a lot of tension. I have a lot of nerves, but I want to pass the nerves to you. And then in this way, I have less, and you keep, because you are running for the interview to the drivers, but I have to be in the car. So I left to you just now everything I have inside. I was so nervous for the race like today. Yes, really, this race made me with a little tension and stuff.
To his car so far today, and they say the track is coming to them. They feel better and better about the way the race is unfolding.
We've got another crash, and it is Milka Duno on lap 65. Milka was running in 27th position, had gotten as high as 23rd, but her day is over here in her debut at Indianapolis. Can't quite hear what she's saying.
But that is heavy damage to the front of the car.
See if we can hear the team.
Obviously impact both on the front and on the rear of the car. And she's already got the car spun before she's really that much into the entrance of the turn. You can see her head get bobbed very heavily once the car is upon impact. Not only on the initial impact, but the second one. Now let's watch here. She goes in. You know what? She went to turn in. She looks like she got off the throttle because she was going too fast for the traffic that was in front of her. When you take your foot off the throttle like that, the back end of the car gets light and it spins the back end of the car around. Now watch the front. It smacks the wall, spins the car 180 degrees and just keeps going along the wall, guys.
Now, she got put to the rear of the field during the last round of pit stops because of speeding in the pit lane. So it basically put her in this position. And take one more look from up above, and you're right, Scott.
And there's two things that happens with that. Because she's trying to get to the car that's in front of her, she's trying to get down to the apex, Rusty. The other thing that happens there, too, is that she's got all those cars in front of her, that disturbed air coming off of there. She loses some air downforce on the car itself, and two things happen at once there, and she's just a passenger.
Let's hear from Milka Duno. Jamie?
Well, she is out of the infield medical center. Milka Duno, your first Indianapolis 500 came to a halt. What happened?
We were doing very good race. I think I was 22nd when we have in the last pit stop. We have a penalty. I must go behind everybody. When we got green again, I was passing some car, and after turn one, it was two cars in front of me, and my car lose all the downforce, lose all the green in front, and the car slide and answer.
Glad to see she's okay. Vince?
The lead used to the big car. We're seeing the battle going on for second place right now between Dan Weldon and Tony Kanaan, and Weldon gets the move done.
That slower car, the 23, that's Milka Duno. She's now a lap down as she is running in 19th place. Darren Manning had to make an unscheduled pit stop. He's 3 laps down in 20th. So right pick up Marco Andretti, Scott Sharp. The 26 is Marco Andretti, and our pole sitters at number 8 Patron car right there. They're both going around the slower Milka Duno. Oh, Milka drifted up.
A little bit high coming off the corner there. Good thing for Marco. Minimal experience. He's only been around a couple of years, but great genes obviously he has with the Andretti name, and just made sure that he could make his car run a little bit high and avoid it, because she just came directly in front of him. Turn 2. So what you did is you turned around and told him to put some more material in there, some more asphalt, and build the track up, because you didn't want the cars falling off the banking of 2. I mean, that's the neat thing about being a previous race car driver. You get just a lot of passing going on the front past the 23 car of Milka Duno, but your experience, Rusty, with these types of tracks really made this racetrack how great it is today. Well, pretty strong as he has people chasing him, and right now you're going to see a situation where they're going to start lapping here very quickly. On the underside, the 23 car of Milka Duno, he just makes to make sure that he gets past these cars very cleanly.
To show you the speed difference, Milka's at 153, Dario's at 163. She's already a lap down. Jackaroo.
Jeff Simmons that we ride aboard right now with his ethanol machine. Directly in front of that is a 23 car of Milka Duno, who had a slow start, but she's been running just about the speed of a lot of the traffic here in the last 10 or 15 laps. Remember, not a lot of experience in Indy cars whatsoever, no oval experience, a lot of road course experience, winning in the Grand Am Series, but her oval experience is very minimal.
Tony Kanaan going around Simmons. He is trying to track down Dario Franchitti. The lead has opened back up to 2.1 seconds, and that's because Tony's been in the traffic and Dario has gotten through. There you see.
They added one full turn of wing in, and you're right. All of a sudden, the car likes to go to the high life rather than the low line.
So as we get back to the action up front, it is still Dario Franchitti. And now is Milka Duno, as she is slow on the racetrack, and he has brought out our second caution here on lap 45. So it looks like Milka is going to be coasting to a stop and not being able to make it back to pit lane. And then Milka Duno just sort of lost fire and coasted on out, so her day was Duno. And then we have a feeling right now for Dario Franchitti. He is in 4th. It is Sam Hornish, Elio Castroneves, Dan Weldon, then Dario, and Scott Dixon rounding out your top 5. Danica Patrick is 6th, and that's slow traffic. Looks like it could be Milka Duno. It is, as she gets lapped for the first time today. You can see right now, I mean, Team Penske in control of the race, but this championship is up for grabs. And look out, looked like Marco Andretti and Danica almost came together.
So Weldon is playing a role now with all the instruments working on that target chip Ganassi machine.
That's Milka Duno down low as she gets blown by very quickly, as she is many laps down.
Sometimes that car goes so slow, Marty, I think they're going to put a zip code on that thing.
There's another lap vehicle.
And I know that this is not very sportsmanlike, but they got to get the 23 car off the track. It's very dangerous, and I'm so tired of holding my tongue. When a car is 10 miles off the pace, it's not appropriate for it to be racing. People's lives are at stake, and that's my, I'll come off my pulpit from that, or my soapbox, or whatever. But I'm very, very, very proud of Dario. He did a great job. And now I think he'll tell you how much he really wanted it.
Well, I'm going to go let her find her husband, guys.
And her reference to the 23 is Milka Duno, and you heard us talk about how slow she was on the track. You draw your own conclusions. That's the trophy. Here comes the champ. Stay with us. We're going side by side. Back here at Homestead Miami Speedway, we are under our second caution. You're looking at Milka Duno in the number 23 Dry Reinbold Sitco Racing, Delara, as she and Ryan Briscoe got together in turn 2. And
we just saw the steering wheel be put out of the cockpit on the right-hand side for Ryan Briscoe, so you know that he's moving inside the cockpit.
Roger Penske. Let's go back, take another look.
So 23 of Milka Duno has lost it, and you know something? 6 of Ryan Briscoe is just collected as her car starts to move up the racetrack. And unfortunately for Ryan Briscoe, his day is done also. We talked about Sam Hornish Jr. debuting here for Penske and winning in his very first attempt for Penske Racing, the first time a debuting driver had won a race like that in the 40-year history of Penske Racing, but it will not happen for him here today.
And the second round of pit stops. Meanwhile, that's Milka Duno in the 23 being put a lap down by our race leader, Scott Dixon. He started on pole. He has been in control. Dan Weldon, his teammate, is right behind him after 66 laps.
A tough way to go, but it's certainly been a successful run so far. Brianne?
Ed Carpenter just pulling into his pit spot as we speak. No changes for him right now on this car. They have a very good car. Very, very happy.
And while you were talking about Ed Carpenter and they're getting him back out, you saw the end result of Milka Duno spinning on pit lane. They'll turn her around and take care of service. Luckily, it doesn't look like anybody got hit. And meanwhile, as they continue to work their way back to the pit, here comes Ryan Briscoe down pit lane here on Labor Day weekend. We've got a crash now as you were looking at the race leader, but the yellow has just come out and Milka Duno has crashed, and you can see the flat spot on the left rear tire. She just spun it, we're told now, and but the tire is flat.
Running. Let's get it back in.
You can hear the crew talking to her from Dreyer Reinbold Racing.
Well, that's not a flat spot. That's a big hole through the tire right there from keeping her foot on the brakes just to slow the car down from possibly hitting the wall. So Robbie Buell's on the horn saying, get it going if you can, but that's going to be neat to be towed.
Well, Milka was the last car on the lead lap in 19th position, and she now brings out our 8th caution. Take another look.
Very much on the inside. Buddy Lazier's on the high side, then the 91 car with the LifeLock machine goes towards the center of the turn, and let's see if Buddy keeps it off the wall, collects it. A great job by the veteran. Milka, unfortunately, has the tight line and ends up doing a nice 360.
It's the first person we've seen today pull off a pass on the high side, but she's lucky she didn't hit anything, and Buddy's lucky that she didn't bump into him and knock him into the wall.
Now this is where she should have released the brakes right there and let the car go straight and collect it again, but it was just enough to flatten those tires, poke a hole through them.
So as we are under caution for the 8th time here at Indianapolis, we'll step aside. And it means right now, Ryan Briscoe is again shown as your race leader. Here comes Elio Castroneves. Whoa! And Milka Duno almost slides into the race leader and then almost slides up to the wall.
Almost takes out John Andretti through that whole maneuvering.
Get an update because actually, Vince Welch, as we check in with you, we were supposed to have 26 cars. We're down to 24.
That's right, Marty, as has already been documented today and will continue to be. This track's unique design puts the driver and machine to the test. We've already had 3 incidents in practice leading up to this race. The first occurred on Friday and involved Milka Duno of Dreyer and Reinbold, and her team was able to get her car repaired and in the lineup today. Then yesterday, Marty Roth had a mechanical failure and hit the wall, and then Bruno Junqueira a mechanical failure. Junqueira and Roth both will not start the race today because their teams were unable to get their cars repaired in time. So while
they refuel and go back out onto the track, it will certainly take the question away whether they'll be able to make it on just this one more stop. That's a ton of damage, guys.
Vitor climbing out of the cockpit, and he is furious. Let's take a look. Viso underneath. Yeah.
He knew he was there. Viso gets on the gas. Vitor had left him space, had left him room, a very gentlemanly type driving. Now watch on Vitor's car. He's going to get a bit of a draft. EJ Viso's looking. They come in the braking zone. And he can sense that he's there. He leaves him room, and EJ Viso just goes towards the outside of the curbing and takes a normal line as if there was not a car on the outside.
All right, as we get ready to go back to green flag racing, Scott Dixon has Darren Manning in his sights. Oh no, and what happened here? That is Milka Duno and AJ Foyt the 4th. I'm trying to pick out where on the track this has happened. Jack, you've got more from the pits?
Yeah, this just can only help Darren Manning in his quest to make ethanol with this race car. You know, we're right on the edge. Looked at AJ Foyt and his son Larry Foyt, asked him how close they were going to be. neither of them wanted to change their steely gaze. You've got to remember, as we take a look at A.J. Foyt IV and Milka Duno, and I should add that for Milka Duno, Robbie Buell brought a driving instructor in this weekend. Carmen Etchenziger's son, Peter, was the fellow that was brought in because Robbie and he worked at the Skip Barber driving school together, and they talked all weekend to her about for Milka to try and maintain as much focus and push herself as much as she could on this road course. She pushed, and obviously the track pushed back.
And that is right in between turns 8 and 9. And I do believe that we're being told we've got a replay of this. We were just about ready to go back to green flag racing. Now keep an eye way in the back of the field.
Everybody's trying to get close to each other, getting ready for the restart. And as you can see, it looked like Milka got to being accelerating. She was going to hit the car in front, so she locked up her brakes, tried to avoid the car in front, maneuvered to the right, and at the same time looked like she took out A.J. Foyt IV.
Back here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course under our first caution, and looking back into the field, you'll see that Danica Patrick started 20th, has moved up to the 17th position. The reason we're talking about Danica, well, yesterday in practice, it was a bit interesting. Let's take you back and show you what happened.
I happened to be watching this on the track at this time, and this was the second attempt for Danica Patrick to try and get past Milka Duno. She had caught up to her earlier. She backed off by about a quarter of a track, and then she caught back up to her again very quickly because Milka was off the pace. And now Danica tries to make another move continuously. She gets frustrated, and she does finally get inside Milka going down the back straightaway, but Milka should have moved over because she knew that Danica was much faster at this point in time, Marty.
Well, and as this ended up transpiring, we saw Danica at the end of the session, and she was a little bit upset, as you could tell. Well, we found out later, and we got some video, as she went to visit Milka in her pits. Here's what happened.
Idea what you're doing out there. You're going to be sexy. What are you doing?
Go, go, go. If you have mirror, you can see. If you are fast, you can go. I see you. I see you. If you are fast, you can like choke.
What the hell? It's not my fault that you're slow. But you're giving everybody a hard time out there. I just want to talk to her about it. I've been texting 3 times this weekend now. Look, I just
no, you like show. You like show. Go away of here. You like show. If you are fast, pass because you are fast, yes? Because you can pass without problem.
When you're in the corner and you turn down. Oh, do you see? All I want to know is if you see me.
Please go away. Go away.
Do you think that your money?
You are the welcome here. You are the welcome here.
You know what? Brian Barnhart is going to talk to you. Take care of it.
Okay, the reference to Brian Barnhart is the president of competition for the Indy Racing League. Give me your take.
Well, I think Danica has every reason to be upset because when you're in practice, you're not racing for a position. When you're driving the car and you don't see anybody in the mirror, then you look again and somebody's coming up onto you very quickly, has closed up a gap. Certainly they're faster. Let them go by. She did race Danica into the turn. I don't understand that, but I question Danica's approach on it. Maybe go over there in a bit more of a user-friendly manner and maybe have a bit of a conversation because the way she arrived, it just really escalated into words.
Maybe put that off until you get back in the garage area?
Yeah, and go over with, you know, a team manager or sort of, you know, send a manager over there and say, hey, we'd like to chat and talk about it. But, you know, she's very feisty, but that's why she drives a race car fast.
And one thing that you can be guaranteed of, she's going to let you know exactly how she feels. And obviously Milka was the same in this situation. So you've now seen it. You can make up your own mind as to which side you want to take. As we're going to...
Better driver on a road or street course than this man, Justin Wilson.
Oh, and we've got a spin by Milka Duno, and that is in the carousel section. If she keeps drifting out, she's going to be right in the middle of the race line. So far, it is still a local yellow, but it looks like she has lost fire in the 23 Sitco machine. And it is now a full course caution. So that big lead that he brought out for Justin Wilson in, his 34th lap since his last pit. Well, let's go back and show you what happened to Milka Duno.
Through turns 11, coming into 12, this is the same area that Marco Andretti had difficulty with. And if you let the back end get around on you, start to come around on you, not putting your foot back on the gas, that's the problem you have.
And this is a...
You've got a lot of cars you got to pick off. Danica says she doesn't feel as though the car is fast enough when she's by herself. And right now, as you see on the shot that we can give you of Danica, she's by herself.
Well, and remember, this is a car that never saw the racetrack until the green flag. They rolled it back off the trailer after the crash. There was no practice. She didn't make qualifying, so a good effort so far for Danica. How about Sarah? Take a look. She's right in front of Danica, running in 19th right now. And you can see Milka is right in front of Sarah. So they're running 18th, 19th, and 20th, the three females. And, of course, Sarah's had a lot of success here at Kentucky. She won the first pole ever by a female here back in 2002. And then in 2000, of course, she finished third on the podium. And there is Danica trying to reel those two in. She's about 2 seconds behind those two. So, in fact, she's lost a little bit more ground. She's almost 15 seconds now behind the race lead.
As we come on to pit road, along with it looks unofficially the lead car as well.
And a lot of traffic there. Vitor Mira is coming in. He's heading your way, Brienne.
Vitor Mira coming in for...
I think it was extremely close. And we've got a problem in turn 2 as we have got a car into the wall, and it looks like it's the 23 of Milka Duno. The 27 of Hideki Muto had come into pit lane. He's going to do a drive-through. There's some of the debris still on the racetrack. So our third caution comes out with 67 laps to go. And okay? Milka, who was running in 19th position, hits the wall in turn 2.
Okay, come back.
Delphi's safety crew is on the scene.
You can see Milka inside the car moving around and turning the steering wheel. Probably trying to get the release from the lock on the steering wheel so she can get out of the car.
This is the one and only look our guys tell us we have, and she's already into the wall there.
And that is the exit of turn 2 that we're looking at, looking down the backstrip right there. So that means something happened with her car going into turn 1 and putting her up into the wall somewhere in the turn 1, turn 2 region.
And we're told that pit lane is now officially open. And Brienne, you've got an update on Milka Duno?
Marty, she was cleared and released from the infield care center. Milka said that she believes something broke in the front suspension of her race car, but the good news is she is okay.
All right, we appreciate the update. Glad that Milka is okay. Meanwhile, down through turn 5 there into turn 6. We'll try and give you a description as we go to let you know where you are on the racetrack. And now Milka Duno has spun at the exit of turn number 3. Now, if she can keep it fired and get going, that will be a local yellow, but nope, the full car's caution has just come out. So without completing one lap, we have our first yellow. So there is Milka, as we said, at the exit of turn number 3. And we've had a lot of incidents there throughout practice and qualifying. Let's go back and take a look and see if we can see what happened.
Well, this is the turn where you enter in very quickly, and there she goes for the same piece of real estate as Bruno Junqueira, and she gets the worst of it as her car's on the outside and gets knocked around. Does not look like it impacted the wall, so if she can get restarted, she'll be able to follow in behind the pack, Marty.
He could run away and try and hide from the entire field. Green flag is out, and we're back to racing here at the Raceway at Belle Isle. Hold on, going into 1. It's not made for 3. On board with Danica, she's got the inside line. That is Darren Manning in the 14. She's going to have the inside line on Milka on this corner in 3. That's where Milka had her incident earlier in the race. Everybody seems to survive.
And it is tight through that section. I've done it before. Milka's a little bit off the pace. You just hope that you can get around the car that's going slow before you come up to the next turn, and that car does not force you out towards the wall.
And right now, Milka Duno is leading her first race this year, and she is out in front, and Elio Castroneves is listed in second. And as of right now, Tony Kanaan has led the most laps. Now you see that is lap traffic as we're back to green flag racing. That's Marty Roth in the second position, but he is several laps down. 3 wide, Dixon, that's a vulnerable spot on the high side for him. And he backs out.
Well, that was a smart move, and his spotter would be telling him what's going on there. That it started to go from 2 wide to 3 wide. We talked about the spotters, and that's very important.
And they're telling Mario Moraes he's going to have to fall in behind the 11-car Kanaan. Jack?
Here's the conversation with the spotter. 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide. That was the way they let Scott Dixon know that he was 3 wide on the outside.
Yeah, a little urgency, like, Get out of there quickly. All right, as we continue now, as we're closing in, lap 146, there is Milka being passed by Helio Castroneves. So Castroneves is going to retake the race lead. So give Milka credit. She has stayed on the lead lap throughout this race. And here we are 146 in. So give her a tip of the hat, because Lord knows we have picked on her when she has done some things that weren't so stylish. Take a look also as there's Danica going around Milka. I'm sure they didn't wave to each other. Dan Wheldon on the high side in the 10 car trying to go around the Motorola Special.
And then the 11th row as it stands right now. John Andretti on the inside of row number 11. Milka Duno in the middle. And Nelson Philippe, who just qualified, occupies the 33rd position. Now, here are the speeds that were achieved in practice this morning. Very impressive for Bruno Junqueira, who I think had 5 laps in that car and got up to over 220. Buddy Lazier was near 220. Stanton Barrett at 219.5.
As she's run this morning, so you just kind of keep building that and that confidence, and she got out of the car with confidence. Here's Brian.
Good job this morning. You got the same racetrack you had out there as you did when you ran quick time this morning, so just do the same thing. Smooth, consistent, hit your marks. Just relax and go give me 4 good ones. 4 to completion will fill the field, put you back in the show. Have a good smooth run.
I think the key thing that Brian Barnhart just put his head in is the same thing that Milka's engineers are telling her, is hit your marks, get the car where you want it. Because yesterday in her run, we saw her run a little high through the corners. So now, you know, get down to the white line, get that car where you want it. The speed's there, so, you know, confidence.
In fact, here is Milka when she came so close, if not white-walling the tires, exiting turn number 1.
And we know there was wind playing havoc there yesterday, but her entry even into the corner, she was 3 feet off the white line, rolling in, and then never got down there. So that's what she needs to do here, is hit her marks. She knows the speed's in the car, so just do that.
And would that be something that Davey talked to her about when he took her around the track this morning?
Absolutely. They went around in a pace car because obviously Davey has been setting the pace for the Dreyer and Reinbold team and has liked everything they've done with his car. So Milka has a comparable car, and Davey said, hey, here's where my car was comfortable. This is what it's doing. Hit these marks. And again, it's a good time for her in terms of just building confidence, momentum, because she just an hour ago set her fastest time of the month, Jan.
And what they're watching here is when you get the little tap on the side and the thumbs up, that is if you have an HPD. Honda Performance will tell you if the oil and water temperature is up to what you want. You don't want to pull one of these out until they're fully warmed up. And so moments from now, Milka Duno is going to try and take some of that Davey Hamilton driving school and try to put it to good use.
Milka Duno has been in 2 Indianapolis 500s. Her best start was last year, 27th, and her best finish was also last year, 19th. She is from Caracas, Venezuela, makes her home here in the United States in Miami.
Milka could make our next 5 hours, well, my next 5 hours up here with you guys really easy right now. There's that opportunity. That's what I want.
Sarah Fisher and Danica Patrick already in the field. Milka will be the 3rd, and 2 female drivers who kind of set the stage for women in the Indianapolis 500. Janet Guthrie and Lynn St. James are on the grounds today. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk with them as the day goes along. And speaking of women, a filly, Rachel Alexandra, of course, won the Preakness yesterday. It may be the women's year, huh?
Still likes that higher line through there, Jan.
And this will be a good car to watch the steering. The blue graphic right in the center will count the number of bars. The more steering bars you have, the more push. See, she doesn't like to turn the car much. That's why she doesn't always go down to that white line. That's probably one of the lower indicators that we've seen in steering. And she's not quite as fast yet, but you don't want to be on a warm-up lap. Here's where it counts. 227.9. That's nice and fast into turn 1.
Still, look where the white line is. She left really high there. But look at how much road was still available out to the wall there. So the car is turning. There's her spotter just telling her, you know, use up all the track.
Now there was a little more steering.
But she got more down to the white line there in 3.
That's why you have to use a little more steering to get to the white line. But this looks like it's going to be a good one. This could be 221.
It is 221.281.
Stand on the gas.
And that shows that sometimes less steering is more important than position. If you don't steer the car as much, you scrub less speed.
Just keep it up. Hit your marks. You're doing great.
And there again, we heard from the spotter, hit your marks. Hit your marks. And that's what you have to focus on.
Down a little closer to the line there in turn number 3.
Now watch as she tracks off here. She's not having to use all the road. There's a lot of road between her and the wall.
And she's improving. She's improving. This could be a tick better.
That is a fast race car right now.
It is faster, just a little bit, 221.393.
So she likes to be high on one end of the track and lower on the other. And you can see as the run goes on, she takes just a little more steering. That's what you would expect.
Good job. You're doing great. Keep arcing those corners. You're doing great. You're getting faster. Nice job.
What's amazing is she's not using all the road. She's not getting to the white line, but then she's not using the track coming off, which tells me that car is really running free through the corner. She's not having to have much steering input, Jan. I mean, looking at the bars there, too.
She's dropped a little on this one. Not significant, but may drop into the 220s, but still a solid run.
220.961, just a little bit below the 221 mark.
Now, Robbie, I know this is what you want to see. You're like, come on, bring it home. But if she is this fast, that could put Mike Conway in trouble.
The game's changing. Today's game is changing right now.
The track is fast right now, and people, I think, are going to be clamoring to get out here.
It's really going to make it exciting. I worked with Milka all last year, spent a lot of time with our stand, and she improved with us through the whole year. So this, you know, let's finish this. I'm not going to say any more until we see that checkers.
It'll be close. Should be a 220.7. Be a great job if she can hang on.
It is a 220.789. The average is over 221.
Wow.
221.106 for Milka Duno.
We are in for a show today here with both days.
It's going to be fun.
It's really going to be great.
Well, nobody else in line, so the track is going to open for practice. We've had 2 qualifiers today, and they have been very, very fast. Milka Duno, the latest to get in to the 2009 Indy 500. We will go down to Milka Duno here, and Robbie Buell, of course, is co-owner of the team that Milka drives for. So, Robbie?
Milka, can you hear me? This is Robbie.
Yes, how are you?
You made it pretty nice for us up here. Did everything feel good down there?
Everything good. The car was very, very good. The guys made a fantastic job. And all the advice for all the guys, for the drivers, for Davey, for you, that you were working like my coach driver last year and helped me also this year. Everybody, my engineers, Larry, everyone made an excellent job, and I can drive the car very good too.
You did a great job just legging it today, and you're solid in the show. It's a good way to get bump day kicked off there. Great job.
Thank you so much.
Really proud.
Hey, Milka, how is Robbie to work for? Is he a good boss?
Oh, yes, he's very good. But sometimes he's tough with me, but he's good. I like that he be like that, because I have to correct everything that I'm not doing something right in some moment. I have to correct. And he's wonderful like coach driver.
Okay. Congratulations.
I'm going to pay for that. Well, thanks, Milka.
Great effort by Milka Duno, improving her speed from yesterday. Track open.
Had some meat in a sandwich there. That is the difference between someone just protecting and
we got a couple of cars in trouble.
One was Graham Rahal. Milka Duno coming into the screen now.
And Milka was just on the low side of the track, and Graham had spun coming off there and just kind of came down and clipped her, and we'll take another look at that and see how it all started.
Wow. Schechter had moved up to 15th in one lap. Graham Rahal, however, suffers another disappointment. Milka is able to.
And I wonder if there's another car. I think if it's another car also.
That set that off with.
It looked like they
Graham.
were tangled.
Yeah. Oh, you see Graham moving his head there.
Yep, he's
okay. He's just trying to
get out of the car.
Get out of there.
Oh, there we go. No, that's Milka.
Yep.
She's going to be able to make it appears, back to pit lane, but you can see that there's a lot of damage to that car.
Yeah, they're not rebuilding that and bringing it back.
Nope. All right, let's see what happened.
EJ Viso. Yep, there is another car that was behind. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so there's Viso in the wall. We never even saw him as part of that, but that was coming off of turn 2. And turn 2 is absolutely the toughest corner here because you just drop out of the bowl there, and it really flattens up. And if the car's pushing, let's watch.
Oh, Graham Rahal, it seemed to step out.
He did.
Yep.
It seemed to step out on its own.
Milka Duno was a victim of circumstances on that crash with Graham Rahal and EJ Viso. Jack?
Yeah, and before we get to Milka, let me update you. The Firestone engineers have checked all of the cars that crashed, and we can throw the tire pressure issue out the window. They were all up to pressure. So, Milka, as Bob said, you are an innocent victim. When it starts to unfold like it did with you, is it fast action or slow motion?
Everything is really fast. Sorry so much for my team because we have a very good car for race, but Graham Spawn, Viso have no place to go. I tried to avoid both, but everything is so fast and they hit me a little in the right rear and it was no way to go. Really, I sorry so much for my guy especially because they work very hard. They give me a good car for race and just in the first lap, there's no way. There are things that we can control.
Sorry to see you out, Milka. Milka, thank you so much. Guys?
Well, and you heard her say it. I mean, she tried to avoid them. You know, she was turning to the inside of the racetrack, and they just got her right rear. Nothing more she could do. That happens.
And the decision of who wins the championship in 09. Justin Wilson is leading for the 3rd time this year. He won, of course, at Watkins Glen. Also led at St. Pete as Ryan Briscoe and Scott Dixon and Dario Franchitti all get around Milka Duno in the keyhole. And here comes Graham Rahal.
And Briscoe used the push to pass there as you're making that move, that whole group moving by the Sicko car of Milka Duno.
Side of the Indy 500 victory that you'll never forget.
Oh, I tell you,
it's not TV. Don't tell me it's TV.
Well, working with you, Jack, that was the highlight of my life. But no, I mean,
I'm going to interrupt you. Look at this. Milka Duno's a moving pick, and we have a new leader. Bob, let's go back up to you.
Wow. Milka Duno still, Dixon has still not been able to get around her, but she really threw the block that allowed Scott to get around Wilson.
Is it a block or was that like a basketball pick? You know how you have one guy set up a pick and Scott Dixon just kind of saw that develop and took advantage of it.
Yep.
And because of that, because he didn't lift, like you said, Robbie, he kept going, and now he's joined the front.
Milka Duno on pit lane. And they're taking a lot of time getting her back in the race, and there she goes.
Pull down a little bit. Has that brought his car to life more so?
I think it's more the pit stop. I think they just did a brilliant change on that car on a pit stop. It just changed the complexion. Right now, he's looking like the man to beat. In the first stint, no way was he the one. It was Dixon.
Well, you never know what can happen. I mean, you just look at. Keep that momentum going, and there you go, man. But you know, you never know what's going to happen. Let's remember Motegi there. I think a Briscoe back of balance. She was just kind of easing into the throttle coming out there, but staying on the low side. You know, letting the quicker guys get by on the high side.
Let's update you guys on Danica Patrick. The crew has gone to work on the Boost Mobile.
Everybody is on a two-stop strategy, but now we go full course caution, so we'll have to see.
That is
wave those yellows up there, and as they come into this 3-4 section, wave those yellows because she's right in the line.
I will say that when the pits are closed now, that when they do open the pits, I think most everyone will pit. Here's the Justin Wilson move.
Justin Wilson and Elio both got to the inside of Hideki Muto to pass him in turn number 11. Pits are closed. The full course caution is out because of the stalled car of Milka Duno, again driving for the Dale Coyne team this year.
Starting grid is going to come across the top of your screen, and yes, that is Milka Duno, and she spun on the pace lap in turn 13 and 14. We can tell you that boy, that's given up a lot of track position, though, going from second to the back of the field if you make that call. Here's what happened to Milka on the first pace lap in turns 13, 14.
Well, and she has got the award this weekend for spinning in just about every session that we have had, and goes ahead and stalls the car here. Now, the cars do have reverse this year, so on all road courses and street circuits, you have an opportunity to back the car out as long as you do not end up stalling it. But in this scenario, she stalled it, could not even get going forward.
Milka also had contact with the wall. It damaged the rear wing. That was the only damage she had in that one contact, and she's got to refire and working back towards the back of the field. She is starting in the 24th and last position. Ryan Briscoe in 23rd. We can tell you that Milka Duno has pulled into pit lane, and we're hearing that she has got some mechanical issues.
And you know, in the situation...
And along comes
you don't see somebody take a left-hand corner by passing on the right-hand side of another competitor too often like that. The gearbox all the way 150 miles an hour to turn 5. Wow. More cars.
Let's watch this group of competitors. Here's Graham Rahal.
Oh! Nicky Muto gets off. Keep it straight. Keep it straight. No problem. And then Sato that we saw behind Graham Rahal in that yellow car, he's rejoined.
Right.
So they... Conway.
And Sylvester.
Look at that. A little bit of kind of fisticuffs, if you will, a little bit with Kanan and Conway. Oh, another sandwich. Gosh. And
Viso has spun, but we'll keep going.
Back underway. That's in turn 5.
A couple of laps ago, Milka Duno had an off-track excursion. Let's take a look at it here. Yeah, missed the corner, went into the grass. Now, Kyle Moyer, who calls the race for Barber, they need a caution. They were hoping for a full course caution, but they did not get it.
Crash. And then why he needs that yellow, it looks as though they're about 5 laps short, maybe 4 laps short of under green conditions, so they need that help.
All right, we're back to settle this thing here, and a lot of traffic out now.
How did Conway get through there? I covered my eyes. You yelled, I covered my eyes.
That's Tony Kanaan running in 7th. Then Wilson, then Conway, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
All right, a lot of things have happened during this first caution period. Coming off of pit lane, watch the 3 cars that are basically going to try and squeeze into a space that won't handle 3 cars. And on the far left, it is Milka Duno. And keep an eye on right here, Takuma Sato, the sandwich in that meet.
And she should understand there's a car beside her. She has to look in her mirrors, and also the spotter should be telling her what's going on. And so for Dan Weldon right now, very lucky for him, he did not get taken out in this also. And I got to believe there's going to be some adjustments made in those front steering tie rods possibly when you get a bump like that.
Now, I haven't talked at all about Milka Duno. Milka Duno has been getting some help from her Boy Scout of America teammate, of course, Alex Lloyd. And Alex is standing by with our Robbie Floyd.
That's right, Alex. You just hopped out of the car, you went right on top of the box, and you talked to Milka. What did you have to say?
Yeah, we really just wanted to put me in the car just to double-check everything, make sure everything was as it was for me. Same setup and everything. I found there was a little bit of play in the wheel, which can give the car a very uncomfortable feeling as you're kind of bringing it to the right, then turning it in. If you get a dead spot, it can feel very uncomfortable. So we worked on that, just getting the steering to feel right, making sure that we had no play in it. A couple of other little things. We put a set of my tires on it and ran just a couple of laps with pretty high downforce, and the car felt as we'd expected it to do. Felt okay, felt fine. And then again, we don't, because it's my tires that have to come with me as a driver. We don't have any more tires to play with, and we've got to get Milka in the car. So I just basically came out and said, okay, you know, with that downforce on, it feels good. Car feels as we'd expect, and we'll go from there and put Milka in the car. And
they've been working on this car all day. Will this car, do you think, be able to make it into that field of 33?
Yeah, I'm confident. We worked on my car a lot and got the setup all right. This is the same setup. Milka's ready to go. We can get this car in the show, so still got a little bit of time. Get Milka back in the car, get comfortable, and we'll go put it in the show.
And with the right car, you know she can do it, guys. I mean, she was one of the first ones to throw it down on bump day last year. She's hoping to be the last lady to make it in the field today.
And we have just about 90 minutes remaining in qualifying on this bump day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll be right back. And now it's Milka Duno's turn to see if she can get into this year's 500 field. On the bubble is Jay Howard with an average of 223.824 miles an hour. Milka has not shown enough speed in the practice recently, but the track is cooling. Let's see if she can get the job done.
Definitely heard some really good confidence. That lap, 222.9 isn't going to be enough, but we heard a pretty confident teammate in Alex Lloyd saying, hey, I think this car's got the speed.
Mario Romancini, risky move that ended up paying off. Be honest, were you comfortable with that?
Oh, much better now. I mean, we knew we were in the bubble, and it's quite risky. It's been a tough day, for sure, the toughest day of my career. I mean, it's so much...
Really? Toughest day of your career?
Yeah, I mean, it's so much pressure, you know. You don't know if you will make it or not. I mean, it's my dream to be participating in this race, and I had to do something to make sure I would be in it, and the guys, they did an amazing job. The car was very good. We improved our speed, so now I'll sleep. Tonight I'll sleep.
Good. Well, we got a lot of people in line, a lot still going on. How do you feel at this moment, though, with your time?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, still there is a chance. I think until there are guys on the line, we might be bumped, but I think I did a consistent lap time. A lot of guys will have to go faster to bump me this time, and hopefully it won't happen, but we'll wait until it's done, as you said. But I felt we did a pretty good lap.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Romancini right down the outside of row number 9, and Howard remains on the bubble with Milka Duno aborting her run, and Takuma Sato is on the track to try to best 223.824.
And
the green flag is out for Milka Duno, and she begins her attempt, and she almost wrecked on her warm-up lap. Came very, very close to that outside wall in turn number 1. The situation is she needs a 223.8 to get into the field and to bump Jay Howard. And all indications are that she does not have adequate speed to do so. Lap number 1 is 219.429. Tony Kanaan was next in line. They're going to pull that car. He's second on the bump list at the moment.
Now Howard is in. Are they going to pull him out? It's decision time.
They just handed the paper. They are going to fire this car up, and they're going to send him out.
Oh, what a bad move, I think.
On multiple groups.
Coming up on the 18 of Milka Duno to put her a lap down here on the 22nd lap. Marco!
Oh, look out! Man! Wow. Good heads-up stuff there by Marco. It almost, I think there's probably contact between Power and Milka. She went up the track right in front of Marco.
And that had caused Marco to lose momentum. He's dropped back to third as Dixon has taken second once again. And here comes Franchitti and Elio Castroneves. And side by side, Ryan Briscoe and Alex Tagliani.
How was there not a crash in that one? Wow, that was some awesome driving with 3 cars in a spot where there was really room for 2.
Danica. Let's take a look at that again. It came up on Milka Duno.
Oh, wow. Marco Andretti did a fantastic job in not getting into Milka. And Milka shouldn't have been surprised. Should have had plenty of time to know the leaders were coming, but looked like it was a complete shock.
And it was a surprise reaction. I don't think her and Will touched, but the surprise reaction is what put her up in front of Marco so quick, that jerk back up the track.
Tagling are racing with each other. Vitor Mirror running in 15th position. Neves.
And power goes by Milka Duno again. Now, Brian Barnhart has told the drivers, if you're not within 1 second of the leader's pace, he's going to pull you off the course. She right now is off that mark.
And here's a battle for third.
And Dario's got it over Dixon. We're on board with Dixon. Yep. That's Dario up in front, so he got that spot kind of in that whole checking up process of back markers.
That only took 9 laps to lap her again. That's a safety issue. I think you've got to take her off.
It is, and what happens when you start getting lapped by all these guys? You get out of the groove, and you lose your momentum, and then they're just back on top of you, like you say, and 9 laps this time.
Firestone at this point.
By the way, Milka Duno has been flagged off the racetrack, so she is out of the race. And Bertrand back.
Well, young Adam Carroll at age 27 is getting an education on what Paul Tracy can really drive like. That's Milka Duno slow on the right side as they go flying by her. he will not give you an inch.
Castroneves is in as well. Castroneves went to the red scuff tires, the red scuffs for Elio.
So remember, we talk about the in-lap and the out-lap being so important. Look at this. Milka Duno coming out of pit road also, or by pit road, almost collects Elio as he's on the hammer. He gets around her.
Well, Elio was coming out and directly behind Milka, and he had to make that move because she is so slow to get up to speed. And right now he's in the battle with Danica Patrick, who's out on warm tires. What will Elio do? The smart thing is to probably let her go. Don't flat spot your tires because they're cold. Then you have to spend the whole segment on tires that would be vibrating.
It's kind of an up and down day, though. You know, we went back. The whatever number that Sitco car is was in the way on one of the restarts and allowed Matos to get past me. So as usual, the mobile chicane gets involved in other people's race. But it was a fun race. Always is at the Glen. Very physical, but yeah.
If a very good road course driver, usually you can make up time versus being on an oval. As we see right now, the battle at the front continues to go. But for Justin Wilson, he had to maneuver around the 18 Sitco car of Milka Duno.
And Milka has not been able to keep up the minimum speed. She has been ordered to pit lane. So as they work their way around her, heading into 8, lookout, that's where it gets a little dicey. She's got to work her way over now, and she does, as she's trying to make her way to pit lane.
Now, I can tell you that all the leaders right there are wishing that she had got that information and that signal a lap before, so they didn't have to take the chance to go around her.
You must maintain 107% of the pole speed and then race speed, and she has not been able to. They're putting tires on. We'll update you, see whether or not they'll let her go back out. As we said, the battle up front got a little tighter because of all that action. Justin Wilson, there's Elio Castroneves right behind him. Trying to put the pressure on, but...
Well, we have some driver news to report. The Indy Racing League has placed Milka Duno on probation for the remainder of this season, and that is for, quote, not consistently meeting minimal performance standards. Track officials withdrew Milka from last week's race in Toronto for driving too slowly. On a road course and a street course, the standard is based on time, and that is expected to be 107% of the lead car. So, of course, we'll keep you posted on what's going on there. Duno will start last today. She's starting 25th, while Danica Patrick starts 21st. The top...
Is everybody all clean as they sort themselves through all that pavement? It's looking pretty good.
Got a lot of racetrack to work with.
TK on the high side there, starting in the way back in the green and white 711 car.
You can bet he's going to make his way to the front of the field as quickly as he can. Looks behind Danica Patrick for an opportunity there.
Milka
Duno has spun already. And as Lindy Thaxton told you on our pre-race show, she is on probation from the IZOD IndyCar Series officials.
And if she's still got a fire in that engine, she should be able to loop that thing around and get going and not have any yellows here. So let's hope that's the case.
Will Power and Helio Castroneves running first and second. Dixon and Franchitti are third and fourth as the Homatro safety team goes to the car of Milka Duno. Meanwhile, back on.
Sets up just in front of his spot. It's a little bit courtesy for the guy you know is coming in just ahead.
Oh, this is not at all what Dario, in fact, was telling me. Will Power was really concerned about Milka Duno being on the track and said, I hope the championship doesn't come down to that, to someone who, in his view, shouldn't be on the racetrack. Oh, it's exactly what he talked about. He almost got taken out by Duno.
And Helio decides to come in.
And Franchitti stays out. So right now, Dario needs to keep laying down those laps. He probably lost a couple of those tenths we just talked about. He needs to get them back.
So Dario has just got by Milka, and she stays to the inside of the track, and then on the outside goes Power, gets out of the groove, gets a big wiggle, and he was thinking, ooh, baby, that was a little too close for comfort.
Well, too, when you get on the outside of that track, and that section of the racetrack, there is marbles up on the high side of the racetrack.
And you can see that.
And let's take a look here at Danica and Milka.
Ooh. What was going on there? She looked in the mirror, so she knew she was coming.
Yeah, there's no history at this racetrack between those guys, huh?
All right, here we go. The green flag comes out, and we're back to racing. It's Dario Franchitti leading Will Power, Helio Castroneves, Alex Tagliani, Ryan Briscoe, and Milka Duno has spun.
Still fired up.
Yep. All right, so no full course caution. Here they come.
Coming off that keel. He wants to get powered out. And we got Coyne, who spun there, coming on the front straightaway.
And Milka also had to take evasive action. So it's the second spin by Coyne here in just a few laps.
I don't think he's upset anymore, and I guess they did finally fall off.
And a first full course caution comes out as Milka Duno has looped it coming out of turn number 7. So finally at lap number 33, we have a break in the action.
Of the racetrack there. Very violent, really.
We have several of the girls. In fact, all 5 of the girls are running right together. Danica's leading Anna Beatrice. Then we have Sarah Fisher, Milka Duno, and Simona Di Silvestro. And Jay Howard is there, too. Of course, Jay Howard drives for Sarah Fisher Racing as we go back to the front of the field.
Coming up on the 18 car. And that could really split this one up a little bit, couldn't it?
She's running 19th, by the way. Is 2 laps down. We have 17 cars on the lead lap.
There comes Power.
There's just no breathing in that whole pack of 7-8 cars right there.
Well, this is going to be interesting here when they come up on Milka.
She's going high.
Well, middle high, middle low.
Ooh! Well, then forced below the white line, but
I think from the official standpoint, they say when you go down there, if you had to do that in avoidance, we'll be okay with that.
Conference earlier today with some of the troops overseas, and hopefully they were watching, smiling. I know a lot of the the troops out there were smiling, and all the troops that we have here in the U.S.
Look at this. Look how close you were to Will out there. I mean, you were powering, you were on the throttle all day.
I got to find a job for next year, so I always try hard, and fortunately we've hit a really good patch. I think
not a no-brainer flat. You're working that throttle, and we got a yellow out on the track.
And a car on the wall, and it is Milka Duno.
And this, folks,
there you go.
Everybody can make it to the end now.
Yeah.
Oh. Dixon, Castroneves. So, Jack, you were absolutely correct. The Kentucky strategy for Castroneves and now for Dixon is going to work.
Milka Duno shakes her head. She says she's okay. Dario is languishing back here in 9th place and did some high driving, it looks like, to avoid Milka. Ooh, yeah, right ahead of him.
There's a championship flash before your eyes.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's why we're saying it isn't over yet.
Nope. And being at the front of the field, that's why you always
right ahead of him. It's our 5th caution period of the evening, as Will can only hope for bad luck to Dario Franchitti. But as of the moment, Dario has a 3-point edge in the championship. Milka Duno bringing out our most recent caution here at Homestead, Miami.